Hello, I'm Kevin Horn, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the creative types here in Eastern Kentucky. And with me today is Benjamin King VI. Ben, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
Great. Now, you've done a lot of video production for Morehead State University.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what that was like.
It's pretty interesting. I got a lot of opportunity to work with new people and also try and do some of the things I've been kind of thinking about and trying to do for a while. There's a couple little shorts that I was able to write and direct, and there's no way I could have done that by myself if it wasn't for other people I got to meet and got to work on with.
Who are some of these other people you've worked with?
The main people I've been working with is Kyle Lee and Carrie Maynard, but there's a couple other people like Jay Adams. Then we had Joel, and we had Jamal, Mira. We had a decent group of people, but I mean that's pretty much what it kind of burns down to, is you need to have a decent amount of people, and people that not just that they know what they're doing, but they also have the passion and the desire to actually make the product as well.
Ah, very true. Did you guys have a group name that you called yourselves?
Yes. In college, we called ourselves Zeta Beta Tometa, or the official name, what it turned into, was ZBT Studios. But that's actually something that's continuing. Although I graduated, that's something that Kyle Lee and Carrie Maynard are going to be taking over. What I'm doing right now is actually in a group called All the Kingsmen Productions, and been kind of just working with different companies as of right now. Haven't done anything that's necessarily my own work, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. But I've been messing around doing some rap videos for a company called Deaf Boy Productions out of Louisville.
Well, that's very interesting. Who are some of the acts that they have there?
Well, the main one that I was messing around with is Flow Easy, Mr. Billups. We did a music video called Kick Door. Mm-hmm. We're still in the process of working on that. Then in a little bit we're working on another one by a guy. His performing name is Ibby, and his music video we're going to be working on is called From the Streets. But there's apparently going to be a couple other videos we're going to be working on as well. But like I said, that's something that they've been working together. They're pretty much having me come out there and shoot it and direct it, but they were the ones that actually wrote it up.
Oh, very interesting.
And then obviously they're the ones that wrote the music as well.
Right, of course.
And everything.
Well, we understand that you've brought some videos with you today for us to see. Would you like to set up the first one?
Well, sure. The first one was a video I produced with ZBT. We had it show up on our TV show we had on campus. The name of the show is The Touch.
I don't know. I think that whole thing is just completely useless.
Yeah, I could eat a whole bowl of alphabet soup and crap in an argument better than that.
That may be true.
Whoa, dude. You almost touched my hand.
What, you homophobic or something?
Dude, it's nothing like that. It's just, don't touch my hand unless you're willing to take on the consequences. What I don't understand, it's every time she wants to talk, it's about how I don't respect her or something. I wasn't really listening. Dude, here I am. I'm trying to talk to you about something serious and deep about love, and all you can do is try and make fun of me about how I don't want to be touched.
Why is it such a big deal? Okay, man, no. I was just messing with you.
That's it! I told you! I warned you, man!
No, wait. No. I was pushed. It wasn't... Dude!
Hey, buddy. You're it.
I gotta say, that was some pretty funny stuff.
I tried.
Where'd you guys come up with the idea of just like, somebody touching, then apparently it goes on to this really long chase sequence?
Yeah. Well, it is actually something, I used to tell this really just stupid joke a long time ago, and it would take literally hours. And every time I would tell it, I would add more stuff to the joke to make it even longer. But the short version is of the actual joke. It's about a famous explorer who hears about a magnificent pink ape. And as the explorer, he has to find and capture this ape and kind of show off how amazing he is, I guess. So he ends up going off and trying to explore and trying to find it. And when he is out on his expedition, he comes across the village. And in the village, he speaks to one of the elders. And the elder has some information about the pink ape. And when he sits down and talks to him, the elder tells him that the pink ape should never be touched. And the guy's like, okay, well, big deal. Who cares about that? So he kind of blows it off and decides to go off and find this pink ape. So he heads out, and as he's going through the jungles and everything, he's got to cut down his own little path. So he's cutting down all the vines and all the trees, and he keeps on walking. Comes to a river. He's got to find a way to get across the river, and then there's more jungle he has to go through, and then eventually he finds this old temple that's often just completely overrun by the foliage in the jungle. So he ends up climbing down, and he thinks that this is a good spot to actually kind of check out and see what's in there. And as he's exploring it, he notices that there's something within the depths of the temple. So he climbs and gets in closer, and he sees the magnificent pink ape. It's just sitting off in the distance, just kind of hanging out, minding its own business. So he's kind of thinks, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to set up a trap to catch this thing? So he sits down and starts coming up with a plan, and he starts making up his little trap, and he starts getting up closer to it to try and set it, and he realizes the pink ape is not even caring that he's there. So he's like, well, this is going to be easier than I thought. So he gets up a little bit closer, and he's easily in the view of the pink ape, and he's still trying to understand why the pink ape just doesn't care. It's just sitting there minding its own business. So he walks up closer, and he starts thinking again. He's like, why did that old man say don't touch him? So the curiosity got the best of him. He just reaches in, and he touches him. And right when he touches him, the pink ape jumps up and starts freaking out, screaming and hollering. And he's like, oh my gosh, what happened? So he's got to get up, and he's trying to run out of the temple. So he's running. He goes through all the jungle, and he gets to the river, and he hears the ape behind him screaming. So he's like, oh gosh, he jumps in and starts diving and swimming across the river. He gets out and starts running through the jungle, starts cutting down all the vines and everything, trying to get back to, trying to get back out of the jungle before the ape can get him. And right when he's about to get to the edge, he trips on some roots and falls down, and the pink ape jumps through the air and lands on top of him and goes, you're it. So it's a stupid joke I said a long time ago. But the thing was, like I said, I don't know. I thought it would be kind of more of a rude on my part to make someone sit through and tell them a very long, drawn-out story for a really dumb punchline. And I don't know. We were just wanting to make a video, and then I was like, hey, I know something stupid. How about we do this? And so Pink Ape was just someone touches someone.
Well, it turned out to be a really funny concept. So did you do your own stunts in this?
No, I didn't fall from the two stories above. I made Jay Adams and we made a duct tape dummy. And for anybody watching, this is how you do it. If you're wanting to do your own little indie videos and you need a dummy, you need at least 2 rolls of duct tape, 2 old pairs of clothes that are long sleeve and long-legged, and a pair of socks, okay? So get your pair of socks or your long pants and your long shirt, and then you have someone duct tape your body all the way up, and then you cut that through the duct tape through that old pair of clothes. You cut it all off, and then, well, you're like in a cocoon, so you have to kind of emerge from it. Then you have this big, like, duct tape sculpture body thing, husk of yourself. And what you do is you just stuff that up with whatever you can. And I literally stuffed it with whatever I can. I had just old packing material from when I was ordering stuff from online. I had a whole bunch of just old plastic bags from like Kroger's, and filled it up with old newspaper, and I even had some like foam noodles for the legs and arms. But you just fill it all up, and then you re-duct tape up the hole where you cut, and you got a replica your size of person. Well, and then you got to make your own head. And I just had a balloon and duct taped it up and put it on top, and then popped it and filled it up with old clothes. And then, and that I had a bunch of clothes on, and that was actually the reason I wanted to do that, is because I was going to have the dummy dressed up. So you had him in a hood and long pants and a coat and everything. That's why I was winter dressed indoors.
Makes sense.
Like that. But it made it so it looked like there was me falling from the second floor and hit the ground below.
That's a really good tip, especially a lot of, like what you said, independent filmmakers. They don't have a big budget, but they might need something for those kind of stunts.
Mm-hmm. Just duct tape. I mean, I didn't even get fancy duct tape. It was just dollar store duct tape.
There you go, dollar store duct tape, and it works.
So I think it cost me like maybe $8 for that actual dummy I made, and I still have them. He's at my house. So
Take him to the carpool line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So what's this next clip you're going to be?
The next one, we did a video called "What Happened to You Last Night."
All right. Check it out.
Dude, what happened to you last night?
Man, I got like totally hammered. Hey man, awesome party, good work, it's pretty off the charts, man. I like those shoes too. What are those, Nikes, Converse?
Alright, man.
Yo dude. Hey man, what's this?
Dude got wasted. Hey, girl. Wait, what happened to you last night?
Oh shoot, I got totally
Ring-a-ding, the doorbell sings. Now I know something happened to you two last night.
Just a little stone.
Wicked, what about you?
Figure I'd smoke some marijuana.
Not in my house! You guys ready to get bombed?
Oh man, I'm totally fried.
Guys, I think my face is melting.
So that's what happened last night.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind this?
As a kid growing up in my very sheltered life, I always I did not really look down on people that would do drugs or whatnot. I just always thought it was just kind of ridiculous, and I always thought it was kind of funny how there was always so many different ways of saying how you would go partake in paraphernalia without actually saying you did it. And it's like, I thought it was kind of ridiculous because one, the people who would actually talk about it are actually proud of doing it. But yet, why would they be make it all secretive and make up something? So it was like they're trying to be so obvious that they did it, but without actually admitting that they actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
So either or, heard all these different little phrases and stuff, and I thought, oh, hey, let's see what we can do with that, and I just kind of threw it all together.
It turned out really well.
Because there was actually going to be a lot of other little additional ones. I just thought, just tell a couple jokes on it. You don't even beat it into the ground. But I had like a couple of them where someone's going to get smashed and someone's going to get blitzed. You can just go down the list. There's a whole bunch of them.
So were these things that were cut during the script process, or did you film them and then decide to scrap them?
It was I got rid of them during the scripting process. The original script, there was like 8 different little jokes in there, but I was like, I don't really. Like I said, it doesn't. It may be a joke, but the thing is, you don't need to constantly beat the same joke into someone's head.
Right.
You can get 3 good giggles out of it and then move on.
Now, what was your plan when it was going to be smashed, and what was it, blitzed?
Oh, blitzed! I was just going to have someone in a football uniform and just run into someone.
No.
It was actually going to be a girl that comes out and she's like, oh, I got completely blitzed, and then right when she was almost about to say blitz, she just gets completely blindsided. Getting smashed is just some people hanging out in the garage, and then the garage door falls on them.
Oh.
Some fun stuff.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I noticed some of the props that you used in this one as well. I assume they were not. It was not a real hammer or real rocks.
I have a person that she works on the props, and she also does makeup and costumes. Her name is Angel Fox, and she's really gifted at what she does. She made us a foam hammer, so we could actually throw a hammer at someone without them complaining. And she also made the little rocks that we threw at Kyle Lee.
The looks of them were very convincing. Clearly, even in black and white, you can show there's a lot of care taken into the creation of these.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have next?
What we have next is we got a little bit of a preview for it's a video that's probably never going to happen, but it was just fun just getting together and making it. But it's a fake trailer for an upcoming movie coming up called The Shooting.
All right, we'll take a look at that.
Each of us will be given a camera. You're going to go out and get headshots of each other. If you get shot, you are disqualified until the final person is made champion. This is a war, man. These are the people you will be fighting against for your future jobs. When you're lying awake at night, shivering, starving, wondering where it all went wrong. It was because of them. They stole your life. Come on, people. You have been in school for the last 16 years. Spending thousands of dollars for an education. Will it all be for naught? Choose who you shoot wisely. This is the time. This is your time.
Great. You sure got a purty mouth, son. Why don't you turn around and give us a smile?
Yeah, that could be fun. I got your back.
This camera has a 16 gigabit SD card, capable of capturing 2080, 22 megapixel images. Now I know what you're thinking, punk. Was that 2080 shots, or only 36? To be honest, through all the excitement, I forgot. Being this is a 15mm lens, one of the most standard DSLR lenses in the world. It'll capture your face in 20.3 megapixel clear HD. So you gotta ask yourself one question. Are you photogenic? Well, are ya, punk?
So that certainly seemed to be more of a high concept than, or a higher concept video than some of the other ones that you showed us.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it had that action thriller vibe, but without the violence.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, one of the phrases that people use a lot for cameras is let's go shoot, let's get some shots in.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, well, that'd be kind of fun. And then I was playing with the lenses and putting batteries in it. I was like, this is almost like, if you put a battery in, it's like putting in a clip and putting the lens on. And it has that sound. Like if you're cocking a gun, if you put a lens on it, it's got that nice click noise. So I was like, oh, let's just play around with that and make it look like everybody's just assembling their guns and shooting each other. But yeah, if we actually finish the video, it's just what happened is we got a couple different people who are also going to school and everything. It just sometimes it gets really hard to schedule all that in. But I don't know. I think we have a good chance of finishing it, but we also have another good chance of not finishing it at the same time. But pretty much the main basis of the story is the main person who you saw, the person who was giving the inspirational speech. He's talking to all the ZBT people. He's trying to get them all together for a new team building exercise. And it's pretty much this King of the Hill match. Everybody is getting a camera and they're going to go out and take headshots of each other. And if you shoot someone and get a headshot of them, they're disqualified from the match. But the thing is, everybody takes it a little too serious and it gets all completely blown out of proportion, and everybody's shooting each other. They pretty much, I was going to have it turned into where they completely take over the campus. Have a whole bunch of other characters added into them. Like one person, she goes insane because all the people that she loved, she's killed them, she shot them all, and she's going around collecting all their SD cards as like dog tags, and she's like singing to them. She's all sad because there's no one else to shoot. And so there's like a couple other showdowns where I have to shoot some other people. I got my handy dandy double barrel DSLR camera.
How did you create that rig?
Well, me, I always thought it was. I'm always loved violence. If done properly, I think it could be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
So we're obviously doing something very non-violent, but getting everybody to act like it is actually violent. Like we have a couple of death scenes where we try to make it look as dramatic as possible. But with the actual gun, I was just thinking, well, I had someone who was going to be the lone gunman, and that was Kyle. And what he does is he pretty much sets up traps and he takes out a whole bunch of people, and he's pretty much collecting their cameras. He actually in one of the scenes he gathers like 3 different cameras and he hooks them all together to where they're all shooting in different directions. And he puts them on a timer, so it's like a time bomb.
Oh.
And we have someone have it like he has to try and find a way to disable the bomb but he can't, and he ends up destroying them and whatnot. But we already had someone that was just a lone gunman. Then I had someone who was the sniper, so they had the 30mm lens, and then that was Shay Palwich. She was on the roof. She was the one assembling the camera from the box. Then we had another person who was Hannah Webb, and she was the one that put the bandana on, which was just the strap from a camera.
Right.
And, if you look closely, she had a battery hooked up in there as well, so I was trying to Rambo her with, well, we didn't have any M60s, so we couldn't pull a true Rambo, but I figured, hey, we do a tripod, we put that up and set it on continuous picture, so it's like a fully automatic gun. So I had someone that had like a machine gun kind of thing. So I was like, okay, we need to have something else. What else could it be? So I thought, well, shoot, I'll just make a double barrel gun. And from one of the shots, I even set it up to where, this is where my mind goes. I'm weird. It's supposed to be like a shotgun, right? Mm-hmm. So I even had it set up to where I could carry it around. In one of the scenes, for me to load it up, I pulled it down like it was the barrels being pointed down.
Right.
So the cameras were being pointed down, and I could put 2 new batteries in it, like 2 new bullets, load it right back up, and just pop it back up. But no, I already had a shoulder mount, and I just needed to find a way to set 2 cameras right next to each other. So I just got a little piece of metal that already had some holes drilled into it, and I got the proper bolts to hold in the cameras, and that was pretty much it. Also, it was a very short clip of it. It also has a giant bulb on the bottom, and it also has a little LCD screen, because there's going to be another scene that I didn't actually do yet, where it's like all first person view. So it's going to be like me going around just blowing people away with the double barrel kind of setup, but the big bulb was hooked up to it, so every time I would shoot it would like flash a light all over the place. It was supposed to be like me walking around Breckenridge where all the lights are all off. There's papers everywhere. It's supposed to be like the end of times kind of vibe. But
so how far into shooting this did you guys get?
We got about, I'd say about 25 minutes. But the tragedy was, after I got a whole bunch of footage all set up, and this is something that just happens, and something I would suggest to anybody who does video and the editing process is, when you do saves, don't just save regularly. Make separate saves. Because what happened was, somehow all the audio got deleted. So I had a whole bunch of stuff, and then after that happened, I was like, ugh. So then school started kicking in. I had to do a couple other stuff, so I had to put it on the back burners. But I was able to salvage some of the other stuff. But I mean, I still have all the footage. I'll have to re-edit everything. It's just that's still a job.
Yeah.
Got to find all the footage, because when you use the handy-dandy DSLRs, you use the actual video, and then you have audio separate. So
Right.
I gotta go through and find all the different audio that's supposed to go to the certain video clip.
Yeah. That is one of the many perils of filmmaking.
Yeah.
The media management is not there, and not the.
Yeah.
That creates the biggest problem.
Oh yeah. So, and I didn't change when I was editing everything. I was getting too excited and just start putting stuff together, to where I didn't actually sit down and name each thing. So that's another thing I highly suggest. Name everything before you even start the editing process. Just hold on to your anticipation. We'll get to it eventually.
All very good tips.
So, yeah, because that's just the sad truth of it. Because we had a lot of different stuff going on. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what we ran into with that one.
All right. Well, we'll be right back after this break, and we'll talk with Ben a little more and see some other videos he's got. All right, stay tuned.
Welcome to Archer Park in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Here you can find a number of amenities to suit your leisure and exercise needs. Enjoy our vast tennis court with several play areas so that you're never waiting too long for your next set. If you're in the mood to enjoy a meal with family or friends, we have several sheltered areas with grills. And for the young and young at heart, we have several areas of playground equipment to suit younger and older children. And Clark Hall is home to an indoor basketball court, as well as the Happy House Adult Day Center. And for those very hot days, take a refreshing dip in the public pool. We have several open areas for a variety of activities, or the fenced-in dog park for your four-legged friends. And come pay your respects at the Floyd County War Memorial. And during our holiday season, check out our phenomenal lighting display with our annual Christmas in the Park event. So when you need to get away from your getaway, come down to Archer Park, where you'll find a variety of activities to suit your needs. Archer Park is located at 66 Archer Park Road, Prestonsburg, Kentucky.
All right, and we are back. I'm here with Ben King still. Now, Ben, we've collaborated on a few things. Well, we were both in Zeta Beta Tometa. I was in there for a shorter time than you were.
You still helped out. You're one of the judges of, or I guess critics, you may say, for some of the movies we're talking about.
A little segment that you called the Tomato.
Yep.
Why don't we take a look at that real quick?
All right. Yeah, this one, I guess we were talking about Spider-Man, the future that it would hold.
You're watching Tomato. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man. Now, I'm sure you guys are all getting excited. We found out the other day that Sony and Marvel are actually going to be working together. They're going to have a joint custody of Spider-Man. So what were our thoughts? What is going? Is this just a match made in heaven?
It could be, but I feel like they should take the CGI to the next level. I just want to figure out who's going to be the villain, as well as who's the new Spider-Man. And if it's nobody, let me get my shot.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Are there any like perspective people?
Logan Lerman from the Percy Jackson series is
Oh,
in
really?
contention. He's one of the ones I'm looking at.
I can see that.
And that kid from the Maze Runner. I have no idea who he is.
Oh,
I haven't even
Dylan
watched it.
O'Brien.
Yes.
I like him.
Oh, really? What other stuff has he been in?
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
jeez.
Oh, well.
I like him though.
That's fine.
And he's in the internship with Vince
Vaughn?
Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
Okay.
He's a
forgot that
he's a
movie existed.
likable person.
Pulling out Vince Vaughn movie.
I
Yeah.
said we need to give Donald Glover his shot finally. He was campaigning for it.
Sure,
Let's give him the role of Peter Parker.
Yeah, let's do it. Why
I don't
not?
see an issue with that. I mean, they keep complaining about how they're trying to diversify more in the Marvel universe.
So,
Let's
Black
see.
Spider-Man, Donald Glover.
It'd work.
That would be cool. I mean, I
He's
think
funny.
he's funny. He could have that
The
persona.
enthusiasm.
I don't know. I'm kind of sad that we don't have Garfield. I don't
He did
know.
good.
I thought he was so far. I think he was the best of the Spider-Mans. I'm not
Yeah,
downplaying
as opposed to Tobey Maguire. Jeez.
I mean, I like Tobey in the first two.
Yeah, I like the first one.
I like the dancing in the third one.
I know you do. It hurts.
I think Toby's
It's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, as long as
Like-
we can agree on the fact that
Like,
that
the rest of the
only
movie,
the
not that
dancing.
great. The dance
Yeah.
scene's awesome. And I wish the whole movie was just emo Spider-Man spinning on a chair in front of Mary Jane.
Double time. Thanks.
I thought he was too old for it to begin with.
Nah.
Like, I don't want like a constantly high school Spider-Man. That's boring.
But he's supposed to be like youthful, like.
Yeah, Toby looks way too old.
Yeah.
But that's where Garfield came in, because at first I was like,
Garfield
"Who's
definitely-
this guy?" But then
He fit the
he
role
had
really
such just a fun persona, and you could get behind that.
You know, in the future, if you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief, man.
What are you? You a cop?
Really? You seriously think I'm a cop? Cop in a skin-tight red and blue suit. You know, you've got a mind of a true scholar, sir. I was going more for one of the guys who do the luge. Good thinking, good thinking. Here's the window. Get out the window. There you go. You got it.
So did he get too old?
No, it's just where they're not gonna like have it tied to anything that they've done before. They're gonna
Well, I
do it
mean,
all
so
now.
they can- they're not having Garfield on any of them.
Garfield, was that the newest one?
Yeah, the newest one was Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
Are they gonna try to hook it to the Avengers? You think?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. That's why they're
doing-
joined together. It's going to be a
I
part
think
of.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be awesome.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Makers.
I feel like if they continue to put the energy that they had in the last two Amazing Spider-Mans, they can't go wrong. And I mean, Spider-Man has been. We've been waiting for Spider-Man to be showing up in Marvel. I mean, it's so kind of ridiculous that Marvel kind of didn't have rights to one of its most infamous
Well, it's still
characters.
ridiculous that they don't have like the X-Men.
Yeah, I mean the X-Men as well. I mean they're gonna be. They already announced how they're gonna be doing Civil War, so they're gonna need to have a lot more characters coming in. I'm kind of thinking that if they don't get X-Men, they're already introducing the Inhumans.
Yes.
So I think that'll definitely kind of back in the whole Civil War, get a lot more extra people, and still, we gotta sit here in anticipation and wait for the new Spider-Man. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
I had a good time on, working on that, because those were, you had guys like Jamal and you, and like everyone was, really quick to cut up with everybody. And it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good rapport with everybody. It had a nice. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of like what you were saying. Everybody just had a decent chemistry. It was kind of easy for everyone to talk.
We may not have worked on this together, but we've both been involved in the Morehead Film Challenge. What was your experience in doing that?
Well, there was two different ones I did. There's the first one, which was spring of 2014. We ended up doing that one. It was called Director's Cut. The requirements was we had to do a teen movie. It had to have a cheese slicer, and had to have the line, "Now that I have you all here, let me go." And we had to use a character name, which was Dakota Dimplegrass. And even though we did a pretty good setup, we were one of the few teams that actually used lighting, and we try to do all the different extra techniques and camera angles and everything to try and make it look more like an actual traditional movie. And we were disqualified.
For what?
We used a cheese grater instead of a cheese slicer. So we weren't able to compete. People were allowed to see it, but so either or, we missed out on a possible $50 that I would have to split among like 12 people. So
get you a lot of pizza though.
Maybe, but
that's where you can put that cheese grater to use.
Oh yeah, finally. But that, yeah.
It's little technicalities like that sometimes.
But the thing is when I talked to my crew and everything, is when we were sitting down with everybody in the room and actually sitting down and watching our video, I don't really care what three people, the judges, what their perspective of the video was. I care what everybody in the room was thinking. And for what I felt, that they enjoyed, they at least got the point across. And whenever you watch any type of entertainment, you're pretty much, at least the way I take it is, you're engaging in some form to have emotion. Whether it's comedy, being thrilled, being scared, getting heartbroken or sad or happy. Every time we're doing stuff, we're experiencing an actual emotion. And the more of that emotion you feel towards the movie, I think that proves that you've actually succeeded in what you're trying to do.
Right.
And so the different parts where we're trying to make people feel a certain emotion, I was noticing that people were laughing or they were a little bit silent, kind of thinking what's kind of going on. For the most part, that's what I felt we actually accomplished that. So that was the first time we actually made something in that short amount of time, because we only had 48 hours or 2 days to shoot it and edit it and put it all together.
Nice.
So it was very challenging but very fun. So I believe I'd say I know at least I was up at least 36 hours.
Wow.
So yeah, we took it serious. I mean, we knocked everything out. We did all we were supposed to do. I mean, who needs sleep?
Exactly.
You don't need it.
All right, let's take a look at that. This is the director's cut?
Yes.
Yeah, the director's cut.
What's up? I'm Ethan. Don't get me wrong from what you've seen of me this morning. I'm still getting used to the college life. I'm generally a great student, never late, and always polite. If there's anything that I've learned finishing my first semester, it's that you have no idea what life's gonna throw at you, even with a syllabus.
Thank you for meeting me this morning.
It's almost 2.
All time's relevant.
Dr. Cunningham, I'm really freaking out about this final. If I don't get an A on this, I'm not going to pass the class.
I shouldn't worry about that.
Passing the class?
Freaking out.
Okay, so what am I supposed to do?
Breathing, meditation, some drugs. I'm just kidding. Pretty much what you need to do is find yourself a passion. That's generally considered the first step. The assignment is a presentation on a director of your choice. Narrative, themes, yeah.
Well, what does that entail exactly? I'm worried about being productive.
Productivity is for producers. You're a director, right, Ethan?
Well, I want to be.
So focus on direction.
Well, I mean, is there anything else?
Stop thinking this is college. You're putting too much into it. Just pick something that you like and go with it.
Do you have any ideas on what direction I should take?
The door's a start. Nice to see you. Take a seat.
You're late.
Long night. Longer week.
That time of the month.
Shut it, Drake.
I'm just pulling your
Your
strings.
credit.
What's
Get
up?
out of here. That's all Ashley Bertley, you're up. Right on cue.
Coming to college meant change. This was the fresh start that Ashley and I needed. We finally have a chance to live on our own and forget about high school. I'm going to get my chance to show her that watching all of those movies wasn't a waste of time and when I become a successful director. Then we will live the life we've dreamed of having together since we fell in love our freshman year of high school. Ashley is the kind of girl you change for. The one that makes you realize that all you really want to do with your life is make her smile, and that is something that college won't change. The only thing it will change is that the one making her smile isn't going to be me.
Dimplegrass.
Dakota Dimplegrass. I hate that I can't hate him.
Enter Mr. Perfect, stage left.
Hey man, you know what you should do with your Ashley problem? Just sit back and think, what would Dakota do? That's what I'd do.
Here he is helping old ladies out of trees. And kittens across the street. Oh, and not to mention a minor detail that he's the starter quarterback for the university football team. I guess she didn't mean to send me this.
And this is Alfred Hitchcock.
Coda bear. Oh. The lady will have the same.
Hey, are you still with Ashley?
Yeah, why?
Well, she's here.
Oh, really? I didn't know she knew I was working today. I'll go say hi.
The thing is, she's not alone.
Dimple grass.
I can give the table to Drake.
No. No, Drake's crazy. I'll take it. Hello, do you know...
What's up, man? Oh, can I get a Coke and a sirloin? And for my lady, I think she'd want the same thing.
Your drinks?
I'm having a really great time.
Really? So am I. You with me, right?
Well, you're nothing like my ex-boyfriend. He's crazy.
The lady will have the same. 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 Say when.
So, do you know what today is?
That 18th?
Silly, it's our 3-week anniversary.
Duh. I'm sorry, babe. I forgot.
How could you forget something so important?
Hey, don't worry. There's always fish and all that. I always thought she was a...
Bet you didn't know I got you something.
Oh, I knew you wouldn't forget. Oh, baby, I love it.
Your steaks.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna need my energy for tonight.
All of our lives are filled with moments of revelation, moments that change us profoundly. Sometimes they are tragic things, death, disease, and failure. Sometimes they are wonderful things, success, companionship, and yes, love. And from time to time they are neither. And on these rarest of revelations, we make decisions to change our lives forever. It is these moments that allow us to reflect upon ourselves and realize what we need to do in order to become the person we want to be. I will always remember what it's like to make Ashley smile. But for now, I have to spend some time finding out what makes me smile. I'm not sure how long it's going to be before I'm ready to dedicate myself to another smile again, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Professor Cunningham would advise it. Huh. I guess he was right. Time is relative.
Ethan. Ethan!
Now that we're all here, let me leave.
At least he kept it short.
It really amazes me what people can do and like to make a full short film in that short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, it's, when I say my team, the reason I say that is because it isn't just me that did that. I mean, that's a reflection of what all the different people together did. Down to the people who were doing the camera work in that. I had one of the main camera people was Rasheen Wu. She was an exchange student, and she was very gifted with her just cinematically. She could come up with different angles and everything, and she just kind of ran with it. And it was just really good. I had some pretty decent writers. Who did I have? I mean, I had let's say about 12 people, including the actors and actresses in it. I mean, like I said, I think it was a pretty good reflection of what we all did as a group. And for the most part, I enjoyed it. I like what we were able to do.
Awesome. Great. You also have another video that we're going to show.
Yeah, this is the other short. Well, it was another competition we were in. It was just the same kind of thing, but it was the following year.
That's from this year, correct?
Yeah.
2015?
Yeah, the spring 2015 film festival. I don't know, it was the name film festival.
Film challenge. Yes.
Yeah. But that one, we had to make a Lifetime movie. That was the theme. We had to have, well, you were in it too.
Yes, I was. Lights, Camera, Murder was the title of mine.
I remember it. It was a good one. What was the name? It was Stacy Carter. Is that what it was?
Something like that. I don't
think that's what it was. Stacy something Carter. That was the name of the person. We had to use a feather duster as a prop, and the line was, "Sheep have great peripheral vision."
Excellent peripheral vision.
Excellent. Yeah. All in all, that one was a pretty fun one to do.
It was. I remember with my experience, it was. It was just a lot of good people, a lot of. It was fun. It was the first time I'd gotten to do a film challenge.
Oh, if you do, the way I see it, if you did it properly, it is an actual challenge.
Yeah.
Because you literally only have 2 days, and the goal, I would say, to that is to use up as much of that as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And I think you guys did a great job. I enjoyed what we were able to do. I got to actually mess around with special effects for the first time, and that was real fun. Yeah, there was a scene where there's a gunshot, and all it really was I got a screenshot of where they were holding the gun, and I got the screenshot and I put it into Photoshop, and I moved the top of the gun back. It's kind of like what the actual gun would do, and I moved that back, and then I just drew the actual barrel, because the barrel would actually be exposed. And then I just went online and looked up a muzzle flare, and just put that on top of it.
Oh.
Then put in some lighting on where it was going to be on the hand and little bits of her face, because there's that flash. The thing is, when that happens, in real life, it happens so fast.
Right.
So I just drew one frame of that.
That's all you need.
Yeah, just put it in there, and so it had that interesting effect. And when she was acting it, we even told her to move the gun back. So that first frame when I had it shoot back, and then she did the rest of it, like there was actually that recoil. So it had that nice motion, and I don't know. I really liked how it turned out.
Is that a time-consuming process to do special effects like that?
I was really surprised. It mostly depends on how well you can use Photoshop. But to be honest, for what I was doing, it really didn't take too much time. I think for that whole thing, it maybe took me a half hour. But I mean, I've messed around with Photoshop before, because really all it was just, I just made a copy of the image, cut around the top of the gun, and then just got that image of the gun, of just the top of it, and then I moved it further back, and then I just redrew the actual barrels. That was the only challenging part, was drawing the barrels. Because well, you needed to make it kind of look real, but at the same time, it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't do that great of a job, you just drew lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have gotten away with it. It doesn't happen so bloody quick. So, but yeah, I was happy with it.
Okay, and we're gonna take a look at that right now.
This is all your fault.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
Every time, this is what
Okay,
happens.
okay.
Like I'm coming home, I try to do what I need to do, but this is it. This is it.
I didn't do
You're gonna
anything.
say-
No.
I don't
no.
want to hear this. I
Okay,
just don't.
no.
This is not what's going to happen
Fine,
today.
fine.
No. Oh, you just gotta run away.
Stop it.
Casey, come on. Let me in. Stop this. Come on.
I didn't know what to do. What could I do? I've never been so afraid. I'm still afraid.
You don't have to be afraid here. This is a safe place. Now, if you're comfortable, please continue.
Stop this.
It's alright if you can't. Please just tell me about your job.
I'm still looking for one. Scott decided it would be better for the baby if I stayed home. After the miscarriage, things changed. I just tried to forget, but I guess he found his own way to cope.
Was he like that before the miscarriage? You said he had changed. How was he before?
Happy. But it faded. Happiness doesn't last. I mean, he wasn't happy at the end, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Well, you shouldn't blame yourself. People choose to cope with stress in different ways. He chose to project his, and that's not your fault.
I just didn't think he was capable of something like that. I should have left long before I did. I just couldn't. I mean, he was a nice guy, smart, like he always knew what to do. I depended on him. I followed him like a sheep. I guess my shepherd was just a wolf, and I followed him straight to slaughter.
Well, you don't look like a sheep to me. Besides, sheep have excellent peripheral vision. It helps them to see shepherds that are worthwhile. You know, we all choose to follow someone or something. It gives us direction. He's gone now. You don't need to use him as direction for your life. You can find your own. What'll help with that will be, getting a job or taking up a hobby even. Is there anything that you really enjoy doing?
Well, I'll look for something. I've been trying to keep my mind on cleaning house. I don't know if it really helps, but I think it does. I feel like he's still there.
Still there. In the house?
In the house, at the grocery store, in my car, in my bedroom, everywhere. It's like I can feel him, even though I know he's not there. It's like a ghost, just out of reach, but so close I can feel his breath on the back of my neck, and so close I can smell the alcohol. So close, it hurts me, because I know he's not there. But if he was there, he would hurt me even more.
I'm sorry, our time is up. But if you still need to talk, I can push my next appointment back.
No, that's all right. I'm fine. I wouldn't want to hold you up.
Well, I'm going to write a prescription.
A prescription?
Nothing major, just to help with the stress. You can pick it up on your way out. For Casey Johnson?
It's Casey Turner now. I don't think they're working. I don't think they will work.
The medicine.
The pills, yes. I thought they were supposed to make me feel safer.
Only you can make yourself feel safer. The medicine is just there to help. But ultimately, it's up to you.
I feel like I need to stay alert.
Alert? What are you afraid of?
He's following me. I can feel it.
Casey, he's not following you. You have nothing to fear.
Then why do I feel afraid?
You remember it. You remember what happened. Trauma wounds, but you can get past this. Now, I'm going to have to increase your dosage. That should help. If you ever need to talk...
Thank you. That means a lot. Hello?
Hello, Casey.
Scott?
I've been trying to get hold of you for a while now. Yeah, I can understand why you don't want to talk to me, and I was in a really bad place. It's just I was broken. I was a different person after we lost the baby.
You can't expect me to forgive you.
I know. Look. I'm coming over. I need to talk to you in person. We need to get this out of the way.
Don't come here.
I'm on my way. I'm close. You don't have to let me in, but we need to talk this through.
I didn't do anything! I can't help but to think I could have done something more. Maybe I could have tried to talk. Maybe I could have called somebody. Maybe then he wouldn't be dead.
He was there to assault you. Why else would he break the door down?
I never told you he broke down the door.
Of course you did. Let's get back to what I was...
No, I didn't.
No! Casey! Someone!
Your stress seems to have gotten worse. I want to give you a stronger prescription. I'll see you next week.
I'd like to thank my guest, Ben King, for joining us here today and sharing his experiences that he's had with Zeta Beta Tometa and with filmmaking around Morehead. Do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with us?
More of an advice, I guess. If you're wanting to do video yourself, you actually need to actually put time into doing it and try to get a better understanding of it. The main reason I say that is because, you could even vouch for this. How many times have you had a class where the professor says, oh, you need to do this video, blah, 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 and you present a video and then you see other people, they obviously just put it together last second.
So many times that's happened.
I mean, if you truly want to do video, you're actually going to do it, right?
Right.
And all I'm saying is actually do it. Just put the time into it and actually work as hard as you can on it. And that's really the best thing I could say with that, because the more time you put into it, the better understanding you have. So when it comes down to needing to know what you need to do in certain situations, you already have had experience doing it, and you'll be able to knock it out no problem. I don't know, I feel like too many people, they may run into an issue and then they just don't even continue because, it might be too hard. Well, that's going to happen.
Oh, so many times.
Just expect it. Just know what you're supposed to do in that situation. And if all else fails, YouTube.
There you go.
There's so many how-to videos on that. I've been halfway taught through YouTube anyways. Using how to use After Effects. That was pretty much all YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's helpful right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, just to have a better understanding of what you need to do. Just there's always different sources out there. You just find it and then actually do it. Yeah.
Well, it's the best advice you can get. All right, Ben, thank you. And we'll see you next time around town.